Good morning, everybody. Debbie asked me to share some things that I've learned in leadership in our organization, and wanted to share a couple things with you. They all kind of tie together. The first one is that in order to lead others effectively, we need to take a posture of servant leadership, and that's really seeking to meet the needs of those that we lead, and really those that we serve. Getting to know them, finding out what they need to be successful, and then doing the best that we can to provide those things for them. Really giving them a sense that we are coming alongside them, and serving them to the best that we can. And that's an attitude too. It's an attitude shift that we are their servants, and I think that lends to effective and healthy relationships. And it is within relationships that things change, and it is within relationships that learning happens with teachers and students, and growth happens between team leads and teachers. And our goal is that our teachers get better at what they do every single day, and every single week, and every single year. And so it's important to have really specific goals and have a specific vision in mind. We have a school vision that every child is known, and students leave our school literate and as leaders. Those are our broad goals, and those need to shape everything that we do and all the decisions that we make. But each teacher is going to have specific goals that will get them to those broader goals. And it's important to know what goals your teachers have, and what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and set some real specific, tangible goals that will, get their students to where they need to be by the end of the year. What does it look like to have a literate student at the end of fourth grade? What does it look like to have a literate student at the end of this year's fourth grade? What does it look like to have a literate citizen in this teacher's class this year in fourth grade? And then what does the teacher need to do to help the students get there? What are teachers' strengths, weaknesses, and what do they need to build on? What is the next step for them? It's just like the visible learning that we do with our students. What is the next step to get better? And just keep building on that. Get to know teachers and ask how they're doing, and find out about families, and find out what's going on with them. And it is within those relationships of caring, when they know you really care, that real growth is going to happen, and that gives you the context to have some courageous conversations. As you know by now, all conversations are not pleasant, and all conversations are not easy, especially when someone is not doing the things that they need to do, and you need to sit down and have an honest conversation with them. If those are the only conversations you're having, it's going to be difficult to have the trust needed to have some effective change. But if those hard conversations are within a broader history of conversations that are much more positive and uplifting, caring. Not that we're not caring when we're calling somebody out, but if they know that you care based on all these other conversations, then those courageous, harder conversations have a place to land, and there's a solid foundation for those to sit on, and they know where your heart is, and that makes a big difference, because we are called to have courageous conversations. Lastly, and it's tied to these courageous conversations, oftentimes, in your case, it's probably a colleague coming to you, maybe a parent, maybe a student. Someone's hair is on fire, they're emotionally charged, and they, make a claim about a teacher that, just seems outrageous, or, they're just really upset about something that's happened. And it is easy to kind of take their word for it at that point, and your emotions go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. How could they do that? How could they do that again? This is something I've talked to them about before. And kind of jump all over it. And I want to encourage you to really do your due diligence and start peeling back layers and ask questions. And this gets to active listening. The best thing that I ever learned in leadership is how to listen for understanding. and ask questions as someone's talking. Don't butt in. Listen, repeat back what they say. Make sure you understood what they said. Make sure you ask the questions why. How do you know that? What did you see? What did the person actually say? What did they actually do? Really get your ducks in a row before having a courageous conversation. And I think oftentimes I've found that the initial charge or accusation and all the emotions surrounding it, the reality is a little bit different, and the reality is more nuanced, and there's typically more to it than that. And if we kind of jump all over someone based on the first accusation or the first set of information that we get, I think we're setting ourselves up for failure, because if we go in accusing and we don't have all the evidence and we don't know the whole story, we're operating off assumptions, and that breaks trust, that damages relationships. And again, it's within those relationships that effective change and mentoring happens. And so I really want to encourage you to, whoever comes to you, listen for understanding, repeat back what they say, make sure you understood exactly what they said, make sure you understand exactly what evidence there is, and just do due diligence in investigations, and then you can have courageous conversations based on that, based on the best information you have, and based on a good relationship that you've built with the person you're mentoring. Thank you all for being here at the Leadership Retreat. I'm sorry I can't make it this weekend, but I wanted to share some thoughts with you, and thanks for your service to our organization, our parents, students. You are all very, very valuable members of our team. Thank you.